Sony might be one of the biggest world names in tech, but its smartphone game's been a bit off the pace in recent years. However, this all looks set to change with the Japanese manufacturer's new Xperia Z handset. With its uncompromising looks and the kind of spec that would make any tech geek drool, the Xperia Z really does look good on paper. But is it all empty promises, or is the Xperia Z really as good as the spec suggests? If at any point you'd like more information, just give the Phones For You logo a click. As soon as you clap your eyes on the Xperia Z, there can be no doubt that it's a serious bit of kit. It's all hard angles, flat surfaces and sleek glass, giving it a business-like, if slightly uncharismatic look. But love it or loathe it, the Xperia Z certainly is imposing. The phone continues to make its presence felt when picked up thanks to its less than tiny proportions. Seriously, this thing is huge. Okay, maybe not Samsung Galaxy Note 2 huge, but that 5-inch screen still is a bit of a monster. However, thanks to some clever button placement, the handset is still usable with one hand. But what about that screen? As one of the world's first 1080p Full HD mobile displays, the Xperia Z offers a visual experience beyond any other handset we have ever come across. Colours are vibrant, everything is super sharp, and the clarity is beyond amazing. Take movies for example, where other devices like the BlackBerry Z10 or HTC One offer a pretty decent viewing experience. The Xperia Z feels like you're holding a tiny HD TV. Watching whole movies is a real pleasure and not in the slightest uncomfortable. The wow factor isn't limited to moving images either. Scrolling through the image gallery shows just how crisp this display is, with well-shot images jumping out of the screen. Even menus and widgets look really stunning. Similarly, gaming is more immersive on the Xperia Z than anything we've come across in the past. Obviously that sumptuous screen plays a massive part, but a quad-core processor and 2GB of RAM help everything run really smoothly too. At 13 megapixels resolution, the Xperia Z's camera is a real headline grabber, and thankfully in use it doesn't disappoint. Images are sharp and colour reproduction is of the standard you'd expect with those bold specs. The camera also has a host of innovative features. For example, the impressive superior auto functionality decides which camera mode is best for a given situation and then automatically changes to it. That might not sound like much, but it's a real boon in quick point and shoot situations. Another great little mode is Smile Shutter, which basically captures an image every time a smiling face is detected. Okay, its functionality might be slightly limited, but it is great fun nonetheless. Video capture is also of the highest standard, with 1080p recording available out of the box. That said, Sony has made big boasts about the HDR video capabilities, although we found very little difference whether it was switched on or off. So the Xperia Z looks like a flagship smartphone, has a stunning display and a class-leading camera. But what has it got to set it apart from the rest of the smartphone pack? Well, how about the ability to be fully submerged in water with no damage whatsoever? No, your eyes aren't deceiving you. This is a flagship Android smartphone with no special modifications sitting at the bottom of a tank full of water. Sure, the touchscreen won't work underwater due to those pesky water particles getting in the way of the electrodes from your fingers to the touchscreen display, but nevertheless it's a level of durability never seen before on a smartphone. It's also worth noting that if you are going to give it a dunk, then you'll need to make sure the little slot doors are closed. Not that you'd leave them open, because that would look all flappy and silly. By the way, don't think about jumping into the swimming pool or the sea with the phone, as it doesn't like salt water or chlorine. In terms of software, the Sony is carrying Android's Jelly Bean operating system, and as such all the usual Google gubbins are in place as expected. Annoyingly though, Sony has decided to fill the phone full of its own software, including Sony Track ID and Video Unlimited. It's not a massive deal, but they do clutter the otherwise good-looking interface. To be fair, fans of Sony will feel right at home, but if like us you like to jump from platform to platform, you'll probably prefer to download some generic apps. So on the whole, how does the Xperia Z compare to its competitors? Well, its looks will split opinion, but the gorgeous display is leaps ahead of anything else currently available. The camera is also pretty special too, although not necessarily any better than the equivalent Nokia or HTC device. In the Xperia Z, Sony has created a proper contender for the flagship Android crown, and its water dunking abilities are quite frankly astounding. The bundled software might be a bit over the top, but on the whole we think the Xperia Z deserves a place among the smartphone elite.